I can't go down anymore. But you know, like he say, you know, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, it's too small, it's too small, and then, you know, he need to enjoy his fight.
Okay,
He deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but you know, I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I think is the type of fight Terence Crawford is fighter is different. 168, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me credit for that.
The possible fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has caused a lot of talk in the boxing world, with both athletes and fans giving their opinions on the matter.
Crawford first suggested that they fight at a catch weight of 158 or 160 pounds, but Canelo quickly turned down the idea, saying that he couldn't lose weight from his current weight of 168 pounds.
I think Bud could beat Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would beat Canelo.
Although it is true that both Crawford
and Canelo are the same height, 5'8" in, Crawford played down the difference in size between the two fighters by saying that they are just different weight classes. Canelo has fought as high as light heavyweight, 175 lb, while Crawford has mostly fought in the welterweight division, 147 lb.
Canelo fight, realistically left your mind once he said he's not interested, or you still pursuing it?
Not at all. I think business talk. With the right business come across the table, it happens. I just be talking, man. Canelo a big dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I believe in my abilities. He's a heavy dude, but he's not a big guy. Like, he's 5'8", I'm 5'8", you know what I mean? My arm's longer than his, so that fight would be.
Canelo played down the fight with Crawford at first, but then he became more open about it and said he would be willing to fight anyone if it would make financial and reputation sense.
Terence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he's not in the plan.
He's not in the plan?
No.
Okay. Is there a specific reason for it? Is it because of his size, or it won't do anything for you in terms of pushing you toward your goals?
Like I say, if makes sense, maybe. I don't know right now. I just gonna enjoy this fight, and please let me enjoy this fight, and then you gonna know what is next for sure.
In an interview on the Joe Rogan Experience, Crawford said that a fight with Canelo would be the biggest of his career, and that money is now a big reason why he chooses who to face next.
If it's what I want to do, you want to take it,
Would you put a rehydration clause in there?
I don't like to talk about other fight when I
You understand, like that's the fight that everyone wants to see. That's what the fans want to see you in there with.
I understand that. The same happened with Golovkin.
Yeah, and it happened.
And same happened with Colombia.
And it happened.
And same with Billy Johnson.
And it happened. I think it happened.
And with Troll, and with Mayweather, and with Cotto.
Canelo, Johnny Boy Boxing Fight Hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean.
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
He showed enthusiasm about the potential matchup, drawing parallels to his excitement about a possible fight with Manny Pacquiao earlier in his career.
Going up and becoming undisputed against Canelo. Come on, man. I'm flying in the sunset, man. Thank you, boxing God.
That would be it?
That would be it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing it for me. I didn't accomplish everything there is to accomplish in the sport of boxing. There's really nothing for me to accomplish right now. Like anything, it's about the money now. It's about the money. I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not, but the money and to beat Canelo, if that fight was ever to happen, come on, man. Y'all better leave me alone. Leave me alone, man. Call me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
TBC, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's what I've been thinking about. I don't know why. You know, it's just like, man, the last few days I was like, man, I don't know if it's God talking to me or what, but that's a fight that if Canelo win, then yeah, I'm gonna try to pursue that.
I love that. I love that mentality. I do. I love it. I love it because that's where it's at. That's what makes all-time greats.
Yeah,
it's like you have to have that mountain to climb.
I'm starting thinking like, man, I probably can be great. I probably can be great. You know what I mean? But you know, it's different in the fight. But I believe in my skills and my ability, and I believe in my team. I believe we'll come up with something that, you know, will be suitable for me to be successful in that fight.
That would probably be the biggest fight in boxing.
Definitely.
That fight would be gigantic.
It would.
That would be a big one. I have to go to that one. That one happens. I got to go there live.
You were supposed to go to this last
I couldn't. That was at the UFC.
Yeah.
I wanted to go.
It's crazy how they had it on the same day.
Yeah, it sucked.
But it was good because my fight was early. Then y'all fight was later on that night. So I don't know, like, I get excited I don't know why. I get excited when I talk about Canelo like I used to get excited about Pacquiao.
Really?
You know, I used to get so excited. Like, man, I'm going to be able to fight Pacquiao.
On Charlemagne the God's The Breakfast Club, Canelo acknowledged that Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but he emphasized that the weight difference between them is a major factor. Many people, including Charlemagne, saw that the fight could become a huge show, but Canelo stayed cautious, saying that fighting someone who comes up in 3 weight classes might not be as exciting. Canelo reiterated his opinion that a fight with Crawford would not be too challenging for him, calling it straightforward money. He said in a number of interviews that he thought his bigger size and the fact that Crawford had gained weight from 147 lb to 168 lb would give him an edge.
Like, this isn't the best fight that could have been made, right? Folks wanted, obviously everybody wants you to fight Benavidez, and now there's conversation about Crawford. Crawford saying he wanted to fight you. Everybody wants to fight you.
Yeah.
Now, I saw at the end of the Crawford fight, the, how they call him, the Excellency, Turkey, his Excellency, the Sheik said that he would be willing to pay whatever you want to fight Crawford.
Fine.
Yeah.
If he's willing to pay whatever I want, comes down.
That'll work. Yeah, so if yeah, you're in. So if the numbers were right with Crawford, you'll do it.
Why not? Why not? I think Crawford, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in, because you know I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I mean, why not?
How you think he did at that weight, at 154? How you think Crawford did?
You know, they are a weight class for a reason, and you need to ask him. It's different. I know, in his mind, he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fight. That's why there are weight classes.
Yeah,
and he knows now.
He knows now. You think he felt that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I would dare ask you if, I know with the Benavidez question, you get asked this all the time. I almost hate asking you, but you know, if someone's willing to put up the 250 million,
I mean,
would you negotiate down?
No less than 200.
No less than 200.
Ooh.
All right, let's get 200. Hey, y'all, we got enough people in the room. Let's get the money. But you deserve it.
I deserve it. Look,
yes.
They always asking for a fight. Golovkin, Trout, Mayweather, Cotto, Callum Smith, there is Landy Lara, Billy Joe Saunders, Kyle Plant, and I fought everybody. And now I can do whatever I want. I deserve it.
Yeah.
However, this comment has drawn mixed reactions, with some seeing it as confidence while others thinking it might be Canelo underestimating Crawford's skills.
Fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
You know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. You know, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
And's comment shows the general respect both fighters command in the boxing community. Canelo and Crawford are seen as fighters who constantly push for greatness, unlike some past matches that may have disappointed fans. A fight between these two would likely deliver, given their past of not shying away from challenges.
Today, you know what makes the elite the elite? A lot of them chase money. Terence, he chased greatness.
Yeah.
And I think Canelo chases greatness.
Yeah.
So they're not going to cheat us like Charlo cheated us last night.
Showbiz the adult. A popular boxing commentator weighed in on the possible fight, expressing that while Crawford is immensely talented, he would need to triple his experience to handle a fighter like Canelo.
I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. And
you was back further than me.
Yeah.
I wasn't back that far, but you was back.
Damn, how long was you? He was all the way up there?
Yeah, I was in the nosebleed. No, I was like,
nah, you get money. He got
but I'm
he was comfy where he was at. He was comfy.
But I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches.
That's the only thing I worry about.
So how can you, a man coming from 147, I know he's a great man. Crawford is a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody can do better than Charlo did last night.
This view shows the difference in the types of opponents Canelo has faced and the sheer physicality of the fights he's been involved in at heavier weights.
This is a level of experience that Crawford has not yet met.
If he were to accomplish that and beat Canelo Alvarez, become 3-time undisputed, is that top 10 greatest fighter to ever live? Like, that is incredible. Like, I don't think people, it's not like just becoming 3-time undisputed. You did that on your way. You beat destroyed Errol Spence, and then if you were to beat Canelo Alvarez, that is, brother.
Crawford, in a bold statement, suggested that Canelo might be making excuses to avoid the fight, fearing that a loss to him would tarnish his legacy. Crawford has consistently
conveyed his opinion that he poses a legitimate threat to Canelo, despite his weight.
That was my motivation. Like, you know, it's crazy and it makes me laugh with all the antics that Canelo is doing and saying in the media and whatnot about the size, and he won't get no credit and all this type of things. But Canelo been fighting smaller guys his whole career. Canelo been making his own catch weight for years. You know, Canelo fought a smaller Mayweather. Canelo fought a smaller Amir Khan, but Amir Khan.
Yeah, he did at 155.
Amir Khan. You know, he fought Jamel Charlo, and I'm pretty sure he didn't make as much money, all those guys except Mayweather, even Berlanga right now, that he will with me. But yet and still, you know, he have all these excuses why he don't want to take a fight with me. If it's all about business, then you doing good business. If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you know, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want $200 million for Benavidez, and he want $150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him.
He believes that his skills and strategic ability would outweigh the size difference, positioning himself as a dangerous opponent.
Because it would be crazy for a guy that started at 135 to come all the way up to 168, your weight, no catch weight, no none of that, and dethrone you. So, you know, he got that in the back of his head. You know, this guy
for one, he's tough. For two, he's a boxer. He moves. He can punch. He can do it all. I can't slip up and lose to this little guy. Then what will my fans think of me? What will my Mexican people think of me? So, it's a big risk for him. Like he said, he don't get nothing out of it, but he does get a lot of it out of it. None of those guys was pound for pound best fighter in the world that he fought when it was coming up in weight. None of those guys. He wasn't getting the amount of money threw at him guaranteed for those guys that he's getting with me. So it just goes to show, the level of respect. I look at it as respect that he give me. I don't look at it as disrespect. I look at it as the level of respect that, he think of me as a fighter.
Terence, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this then, man. If Canelo was the main motivation going forward at almost 37, and you're still on top of your game, you're still, arguably #1 pound for pound, but I know you're close with Andre Ward. He left the game on top, undefeated, #1 pound for pound. If Canelo isn't going to take the fight, is that something you're starting to think about, walking away from the game undefeated?
Many in the boxing community believe that while Crawford is clearly talented, he might not be physically ready for a fighter like Canelo at 168 lb. The argument is that jumping 3 weight classes in such a short time could hinder his ability to perform at his best, especially against a seasoned and larger opponent like Canelo.
If this is your hardest fight of your career,
I mean, like, bro,
that's crazy.
This is his first fight in that division and shit. I'm pretty sure.
It's over with, bro.
Bro, I'm pretty sure he's gonna get better, but it ain't like he got whooped or nothing like that.
Nah,
but
he's not ready for no Canelo. That's what I'm saying.
Expected a lot more. I mean, shit, bro. I was having this conversation last night with the people I was watching the fight.
He was looking slow. Terence Crawford looking slow. The scorecard was fucking off, bro. The scorecard was off. I was salty.
Nah.
That shit was closer than what they said it was.
Terence was motherfucking Terence was bopping on it. We just used to seeing a different level of power.
Nah, the bopping on Terence.
Terence was getting caught with a lot of
A lot of and that's points.
Hey, but
that they didn't add up.
Hey,
that's points, bro.
Hey, but
that's points that didn't add up, bro.
Hey, but now like Terence was getting off more power shots and more combinations. Like that nigga was hitting with combos. Like dude was getting nice shots in.
On the other hand, fans who support the idea of this fight view it as a showdown between two of the sport's top best, regardless of weight class. Canelo and Crawford have both earned undisputed status in multiple divisions, and a fight between them could settle the pound-for-pound debate for good.
Massive breaking news in the world of combat sports, more specifically boxing, as Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford is apparently in the works and nearly finalised. If this fight happens, boxing's back. It's back. And people will say it's been back, but I think this would solidify that boxing fights, the best versus the best, happens on a consistent basis now. Like, we used to get a few good fights every year, but for the past 2 years and year and a half, boxing's been delivering. What a fight this would be. This is really hard to call. Terence Crawford is the slightly longer man in this fight. They both stand at the same height. He's a much more varied boxer in that he can do much more than Canelo, but Canelo's got a great guard, a great counter puncher. I would say he would have done much better when he was much more of a combination puncher, as opposed to now where he does a lot of one-shot counters, because I think Crawford's going to be able to make him react big a lot and counter him a lot. Canelo traditionally doesn't do well against southpaws, or as well against southpaws, should I say, so I think Crawford's going to fight the majority of this fight in southpaw too. Difficult fight for Crawford. He's daring to be great here, and Canelo is taking a big risk giving him the opportunity. Let's see who comes out on top in this one. Let me know your predictions for this fight.
Given the stature of both fighters, many consider this matchup to be an insane prospect, and possibly one of the best fights in recent history.
Oh my God, we just got some absolutely absurd boxing news breaking. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, targeted for December or January in the United States. Oh my God. I'm not even lying when I say this is literally one of the biggest combat sports fights of all time. And as I said earlier, it's targeted in December or January, so the build-up to this fight is going to be incredible. The fact that it's in the United States is insane. Saudi Arabia has low-key saved boxing. This is an absolutely mega fight. I was not expecting this at 1 in the afternoon, but here we are. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, targeted for December/January in the United States. Crazy, 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 crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and click that follow button for more combat sports videos. Wow.
There is skepticism about the fight taking place in the near future due to Canelo's busy schedule, which includes his traditional commitments for December and January.
So Canelo Alvarez is being targeted to fight Terence Bud Crawford in December or January by His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, I'm assuming in Saudi Arabia. Is Canelo willing to go to Saudi? Probably not. If the money is good, Canelo will do this fight. This fight benefits him in no way, so the money's gonna have to be tremendous. Now, Bud Crawford, on the other hand, he'll do this fight for $10 million. Hell, Bud Crawford might do this fight for $5 million. But Canelo Alvarez, you're gonna have to pay him a good $100 million. I mean, not bluffing. Then Saudi, as great as Saudi is, and as many fighters Saudi has brought in, they're still missing the face of boxing. They're still missing Canelo Alvarez. Is this fight going to happen? I would say no. Canelo's on a very strict schedule of Cinco de Mayo and Mexican Independence Day, which doesn't align with December or January. He's going to do Edgar Berlanga, Jamal Charlo, or David Benavidez in September. I don't see this fight happening. If the fight does happen, Don Judah, you could feel me on this one. Bud Crawford's going to get stopped. There's nothing Bud Crawford could do to keep Canelo off of him. You could dip Canelo in butter, smother him in butter, melt him in butter. Bud Crawford still wouldn't be able to keep Canelo Alvarez up off of him. Don't get me wrong, Bud Crawford's great. Arguably #1 pound for pound. Skill for skill, I think Crawford's a lot better than Canelo. But that's at welterweight. He's the most athletic welterweight. He's the strongest welterweight. At super middleweight, whole different conversation. Canelo stops Terence Crawford if they do happen to fight. I don't believe they will.
Additionally, the rematch between Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. might need to happen first, adding to the uncertainty regarding this mega fight.
I kind of have a bit of an update on Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford. Canelo Alvarez spoke out on the potential future matchup between the 2 pound-for-pound stars earlier today. What do you have to say about it? Let's take a look at it. Canelo Alvarez asked why he believes Terence Crawford is an easy fight for him. Canelo said, and I quote, "You know, what we saw in the last fight with him versus Israel Madrimov. I think that's why there are weight classes. That's what I think. It's an easy fight for the bottom. I do believe he's higher on the pound for pound. Stylistically, I do believe Terence Crawford presents a lot of issues for Canelo Alvarez at 154, at 147, not at 168. At 168, all those skills just get outweighed by the physical attributes of Canelo Alvarez. And, it's not a good fight in my opinion. I think the fight will happen. Canelo Alvarez is still open to the fight taking place. I think he's going to whoop Terence Crawford from bell to bell, rope to rope. I believe it'll be one of the most disappointing fights of the decade in my opinion. He's going to get no credit, just like the Charlo fight. You guys are begging for it. A lot of you guys are going to be disappointed, man. Cabron is going to beat the shit out of Terence Crawford in my opinion.
Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you like this one.